Chapter: Shang Dynasty by Emily Tai. This is China. And around 3,200 years ago, it was called the Shang Dynasty. The Shang Dynasty was said to start in 1600 BCE, but historians are still unsure if the Xia dynasty existed, so the exact date of when the Shang Dynasty started is still being argued over. The Shang Dynasty reigned for a good 550 years or so, and ended in 1046 BCE. Cheng Tong was the first emperor of the Shang Dynasty, because he overthrew the king of the Xia dynasty, which was the dynasty before the Shang. The Shang dynasty flourished around a river in the northern parts of China. The river was called the Huanghe River, or the Yellow River. This river was extremely important as it brought fresh drinking water to the population, and it also had a high silt content, which made the soil extremely fertile, so it was very good for growing crops. The weather was very mild and rainy, ideal for growing wheat, millet and legumes. The landscape mainly consisted of plateaus and plains, and the people had little protection from invasions, since there were no major mountain ranges. Millet and wheat were widely grown around the dynasty, and became a staple food for the people. Their diet also consisted of bread and cheese. Rice only became a staple food hundreds of years later. The people also drank beer, as tea was yet to be discovered by the Han dynasty. Food offerings and sacrifices were used to worship deities, ancestors and spirits. The people of the Shang dynasty were polytheistic, meaning they believed in more than one god. Each god represented a natural or mythical symbol, such as the sun, moon, rain, dragon, and phoenix. Even the deities had a supreme leader. This leader was Shangdi. He was the god of victories, harvest, and the flooding of the Yellow River. Only emperors could access Shangdi through their royal ancestors. Their religion was a mixture of animism and shamanism. People would consult their ancestors through oracle bones. Ox scapula and turtle plastron were used for the divination. The Shang dynasty invented and discovered many things, like their own writing system, a 360-day year with 12 months based on the sun, the development of a stratified government, and the use of chariots and bronze weapons in warfare. Over the course of the Shang dynasty, there were a total of 30 emperors. Each emperor was served by officials who each held specialized positions of authority and function. The officials belonged to a hereditary class of aristocrats, usually related to the emperor himself. The role of emperor was passed down from father to son. The Shang dynasty economy was based on agriculture, trade, and crafts. While trading with each other, cowrie shells were used as a currency. Trade routes were used to reach faraway lands. Popular trade items were silk, jade, and bronze. The people of the Shang dynasty were split into 4 classes. The emperor and aristocrats had the most power, followed by the military, then the artisans and craftsmen. Last were the peasants, who were either farmers or slaves. The Shang military was believed to be very powerful. The soldiers would fight with bronze weapons, such as daggers, spears and bows. The dynasty was often at war with surrounding lands. A famous military leader during this time was Fu Hao. She was the first known female military leader, and she was successful in defeating the Tu Fang tribe, who had fought the Shang dynasty for many years. She was also one of the 64 wives of Emperor Wu Ding. She was buried in the capital of the Shang dynasty, Yinsu, which is now in modern-day Anyang, Henan. Her tomb was only discovered in 1976, and it was said to be the best preserved royal tomb, as it hadn't been looted. It was also rich with treasures and sacrifices. All her stories were recorded on bronze vessels. A ton of Shang history was recorded on oracle bones, and it is all thanks to the Shang dynasty's writing system. The Shang dynasty fell in 1046 BC. When the Zhou took over, they said the king was evil, and that the heavens didn't want him to rule anymore. And thus began the Zhou dynasty. Thank you for watching. And now for the references.